Hello, thanks for joining us on Granada Reports.
Hello, on the programme this evening.
The families of the Southport attack victims accuse the killer of manipulating the system after he's transferred from prison to a psychiatric hospital.
This is a re-traumatising event. The families are deeply shocked that this has occurred, and we don't really understand why this has occurred at all.
This might be the best day of my life. I'm not joking,
Number 10 North is officially open as Andy Burnham starts work in the new Manchester base.
One of the world's rarest books returns to the region after a trip to the USA.
And I'm in Liverpool, where the city's gearing up for another fabulous Pride weekend.
So first tonight, the families of the Southport attack victims have accused the killer of manipulating the system after it was revealed he's been moved to Broadmoor Psychiatric Hospital.
The teenager, referred to as AR, was given a life sentence for the murders of 3 young girls back in January 2025 and was sent to Belmarsh Prison.
But it's emerged he's been transferred to the secure hospital after a clinical assessment. Tim Scott is in Southport now. Tim.
Axel Rudra-Cabana, who we'll refer to in this report as AR, is serving a life sentence of 52 years for the murder of those 3 girls here in Southport in 2024. He was being held at Belmarsh Category A prison in London, but the Ministry of Justice has confirmed he's now been moved to Broadmoor High Security Psychiatric Hospital. The news has been met with dismay by the parents of the 3 murdered girls, BB King, Elsie Stankham and Alice De Silva Aguirre. Well, earlier I spoke to the family's lawyer, who told me he believes AR is gaming the system.
It is absolutely clear and beyond any question whatsoever is at the time he committed those offences, he had full understanding, he knew the nature and quality of what he was doing, and we're in a situation now 2 years on where he's been referred to a mental health hospital. I believe it may be to re-traumatise the families again, or it may be as a consequence of him seeking extra privileges which he won't get as in prison.
We know that Broadmoor has housed the likes of Peter Sutcliffe and other notorious killers down the years. Why wouldn't Broadmoor house someone like AR?
He had full understanding of what he was doing, and I say as a consequence of that clear understanding of what he was doing, he should be in prison. And if he can't be held securely in prison because of his safety, then he has to be in solitary confinement permanently.
A Ministry of Justice spokesperson said any decision to transfer an offender is made following an independent clinical assessment. The transfer does not change his sentence, which remains at 52 years. Meanwhile, the POA union, which represents prison staff and staff at hospitals like Broadmoor, has real concerns that moving AR there could jeopardise staff safety.
We have concerns for our members. We have members within the secure hospitals who are obviously highly trained, but we don't think they have the personal protection and PPE which the prison officers have, who may be better placed to deal with this dangerous individual.
Now, under the Mental Health Act, there's little that government officials can do to prevent a prisoner like AR moving from prison to hospital after clinical professionals have made their decision. Meanwhile, the families of AR's victims are urgently seeking a meeting with the Ministry of Justice to find just what has gone on here. Back to you.
Tim Scott in Southport tonight, thank you.
Next, and 4 men have died and another's in hospital after a car crash in Huyton. The 2 23-year-olds, a 24-year-old and a 26-year-old were all killed in the collision. Police say a black Cupra came off the town's Liverpool road just before 2 a.m. and hit a lamppost. The car had been travelling from Liverpool towards Knowsley. A number of roads are still closed near the scene and people are being asked to avoid the area.
2 people have been arrested on suspicion of a religiously aggravated attack after 3 Jewish people were injured in a BB gun shooting in Salford. The victims suffered minor injuries in the incident, which happened on Leicester Road at around 10 last night. Greater Manchester Police say, quote, threats to our communities will not be tolerated, and say they're continuing to enhance security in Jewish communities across Greater Manchester.
Well, now to what the new Prime Minister Andy Burnham has called the best day of his life.
And no, he's not talking about the day he walked into Downing Street or any other significant life event, in fact, but instead his official first day working out of number 10 North.
Yet the former Greater Manchester Mayor pledged to put power in every postcode when he became PM, something he says his new base in Manchester can create.
Our political correspondent Leisha McNally reports.
After a busy week, many of us might like to work from home on a Friday. The Prime Minister seems to be no exception.
I think this might be the best day of my life.
He's ditched Downing Street for his old stomping ground in a brand new office, number 10 North.
It really is, hugely significant, but it's about what it does, isn't it? And I just want to assure everyone around the table from all of the different parts of England that number 10 North is at your service. It's here for you.
Andy Burnham began with a reunion with his former fellow mayors in a bid to give them more say in economic policy. He plans to work from here once a week and expects his new cabinet ministers to put in the hours too. But just how practical is this plan for future governments whose cabinets might no longer be crammed full of North West MPs?
The civil service is already based across the whole of the country. The challenge is where political power lies, and that's what the Prime Minister is talking about, is driving that devolution agenda forward so people can feel the changes.
One place number 10 North is making a difference is in this pub, but that's because they've already made their own. With a quick thinking makeover, they hope will open the door to new punters as well.
Before they open, I must have had about 20, 30 people just taking photographs. It's just a talking point, isn't it?
The real number 10 in the North. Do you think it's a good idea?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I'm 100% with it. And I think it's good for the North. It's good for Manchester, and also it's also good for Liverpool and the other surrounding districts because we all work together. I think it's a very good move.
Back in Albert Square, number 10 North was drawing a crowd. But do people here think their new Prime Minister is starting on the right note?
Andy Burnham's done some good work, so I hope it continues now. He's got the bigger job to do. It's going to be hard, but so far I think he's doing well.
The North has been neglected for quite a long time, and it's good that there's somebody here now to focus on what we need in the North.
I think it's a bit of a gimmick. It's a vibes-based policy, which is the problem. I doubt he's going to be here very often. There's going to be 1 week where he's in America, he can't come. 1 week, I'm busy in London, I can't come, there's some sort of crisis.
Yeah, I think he's doing the right thing. I can't understand why some people are saying, oh, he should do this and he should do that, like he's been there 4 days.
The country may be watching this moment, but this is as close to the action as we're getting today. Andy Burnham apparently came in quietly through a side door and is taking no questions from the media. But that doesn't mean the questions aren't still coming. In a first week packed full of pricey promises, from ending rough sleeping to cheaper bus travel, many are asking if the sums really add up. From safely inside Heron House, the government can insist the plans are fully costed. The opposition say that claim is for the birds.
And what I'm really worried about is that we've got a new Prime Minister who should be lifting his sights and talking about how we revolutionise our economy, but he's mostly talking about the little things.
Eventually, number 10 North will get a permanent home here, a new campus near Manchester Piccadilly. But for now, this building has become a symbol of Andy Burnham's devolution revolution, its success or failure closely tied to his own. Leisha McNally, ITV News, Manchester.
Wearable recording devices like Meta glasses have been banned from Comic-Cons in Manchester and Liverpool. Monopoly Events, who run both conventions, say attendees and celebrities have complained about being recorded without their consent or their knowledge. Anyone found to be wearing Meta glasses or similar devices at either event in future will be made to leave.
A new Oasis documentary following the band's reunion tour is set to premiere at the Venice Film Festival. Created by Peaky Blinders writer Stephen Knight, Don't Look Back in Anger hits cinemas and streaming in September. It tells the story of how they got back together and, of course, their record-breaking world tour.
That is going to be a very interesting watch.
Very good watch.
Very good watch. Now, firefighters from Merseyside have joined a convoy heading to Ukraine to provide fire crews there with essential equipment in the war-torn country.
It's the 9th time fire services from across the UK have united to assist their Ukrainian counterparts as the conflict with Russia enters its 4th year. Nick Smith has the story.
A show of solidarity that crosses borders for men and women who are tasked with saving the lives of others. More than 80 firefighters gathered here to prepare for a long trip to assist their Ukrainian peers facing conditions which they struggle to fathom.
To everyone taking part in this convoy to Ukraine, I would like to start by saying thank you, genuinely and personally.
Daniel Fiddler is from Merseyside Fire and Rescue and was keen to get involved in driving trucks and equipment over more than 1,000 miles to deliver it to the Polish-Ukrainian border.
When you deliver the equipment and you hand over at the checkpoint, it's the most rewarding feeling you could possibly have. Long days, a lot of driving, but being from fire service and meeting people from all other fire and rescue services across the country, all very similar minded, so there's a lot of humour and the morale's kept up. But yeah, long days and a lot of driving.
On this convoy, which is our 9th convoy, there's 17 fire engines driving across to Ukraine. We have actually donated over 170 fire engines now over the last 4 years, 220,000 pieces of equipment. I think there's about 2,500 on this one. And it has absolutely no impact on the UK's fire service resilience because these are all end-of-life pieces of equipment, all fire engines. They're all over 10 years old, which is when the fire service was looked to refresh them here in the UK.
Since the Russian invasion in 2022, it's estimated that more than 100 Ukrainian firefighters have been killed, along with 600 injured and more than 1,700 fire engines and service vehicles lost. Those here from the Ukrainian delegation expressed just how much the continued support from the UK means to them.
Often it's not just about the equipment, and we do appreciate the equipment more than words can express, but it's more about the solidarity, it's about the partnership that UK firefighters have been providing Ukrainian peers in the front line. And it means so much to Ukrainian people and especially to the firefighters who turn up to their work every day in Ukraine in the amazingly difficult circumstances.
I think this scheme shows the breadth and the depth of the support that there is between the UK government and the Ukrainian government. This is a daily occurrence in Ukraine, and I think that our firefighters want to stand shoulder to shoulder with those firefighters in Ukraine. I think this is a really practical way that we can support them.
After several days and crossing 5 countries, the convoy reached Poland's border with Ukraine and the equipment could be handed to those in desperate need of it. Just one of many gestures the UK continues to provide the Ukrainians in their continued fight for survival. Nick Smith, ITV News.
Now to a mission librarians in Manchester chose to accept. They say transporting an ancient book to New York was like Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah. Staff from the John Rylands Library took a 1,700-year-old copy of Homer's The Odyssey on a top-secret trip to the film director Christopher Nolan and the cast of his new movie.
Yeah, the ancient Greek text's been in the library's archive since 1901, but has gone on public display in Manchester for the very first time this month, all to coincide with the blockbuster's release, as Anna Joseph reports.
No one could stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
Homer meets Hollywood in this summer's biggest blockbuster, The Odyssey. Starring Matt Damon, Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway, it's a story of survival based on the epic Greek poem. And Manchester happens to be home to the oldest surviving copy of the story in book form anywhere in the world.
One of the things that makes the Manchester Odyssey so extraordinary is the fact that it comes all the way from the 3rd century, so it's about 1,700 years old. So it's very old, it's very ancient. But one of the things that I love about it is despite its antiquity and its age, it looks incredibly modern in some ways. In some ways, it almost looks like a paperback novel you might pick up at a train station.
It's written in ancient Greek by what was thought to be an Egyptian scribe and his teacher. Parts of the manuscript were lost to damp over the centuries. To preserve what's left, they've been put between pieces of glass. Today, they're protected using modern techniques, including climate control.
Odyssey means a long, adventurous journey, and the Manchester Odyssey has had quite the adventure recently as well, hasn't it?
It has, yes. We've been fortunate enough to partner with Universal and bring a part of the Odyssey to the press junkets in New York and London, and to share the object, to talk about the object with the cast and the press that were there. There's a lot of awe to be in front of something so old. Some of the cast were interested in seeing where their names might appear in the piece of the story that we brought there. Yeah, it was just a wonderful experience.
While this copy of the Odyssey has belonged to John Ryland's library since 1901, this is the first time it's gone on public display. It was rediscovered 2 years ago by a student researching her MA.
The library knew it was there, but I felt that it was not getting all of the attention that it could have, and it was kind of just lurking in the archives. It needed to be rehoused. There were concerns about it deteriorating.
Grace, you studied the Odyssey in the original Greek. Why do you think Hollywood has turned to Homer for inspiration now?
There's something for everybody. So if you want those really complex, nuanced female characters, you have Penelope, you have Circe. If you want a war story and to think about trauma and recovery after war, you can think about that. There's also the fantastical elements of sea monsters and witchcraft and all of these incredible things that are just like flaring up throughout the story. So I think it has all of these different components. So whatever it is you're looking for, there's something to kind of resonate with you.
The Manchester Odyssey will be on display at the library throughout the summer. Anna Yosef, ITV News.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of visitors to the John Rylands Library, don't you?
Just a bit. That is very cool. Very, very cool. Now, here's what's to come on the ITV News straight after us with Charlotte.
Coming up, wildfires in Europe. In France, 20,000 people are evacuated from a tourist hotspot in the country's southwest. In Spain, wildfires also raging out of control near Madrid. Here, the first day on the job at number 10 North, and a companion for tango, whilst the hunt for missing Samba intensifies. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Where is Samba?
It's a question on everyone's lips.
All right, time for sport now. And Manchester City's new boss says he feels like he's come home. Here's David.
It's the first time that Enzo Maresca has spoken to the media since he took over last month, and the Italian is back at the club where he worked under Pep Guardiola during their treble-winning season in 2023. Well, he says it's a privilege to be chosen to follow Pep, who he considers to be the best football manager of the last 25 years. Well, he also says he's not worried about the future of midfielder Rodri, with speculation linking him to Real Madrid. Well, Maresca spoke about Jack Grealish as well, but he started today by paying tribute to the former City manager Kevin Keegan, who died on Monday.
A big hug to Kevin Keegan family for this moment. And yeah, I feel, to be honest, as we said, like back home. I feel very good. The reason why the club decide to go for me, that means that for me it's a privilege. I think every manager wants to have Rodri because he's a top player. But now, surgery, he needs holiday, he needs to rest, he needs to recovery, and then he will be back here with us. I have a good relation with Jack, and the reason why is because he has a big heart and he's a very good guy. So this is the reason why. And then we see what's happened.
Well, City's neighbours Manchester United are currently in friendly action as they continue their build-up to the new Premier League season. Michael Carrick's side are over in Norway, taking on Rosenborg. 19-year-old academy graduate Shay Lacey has put them in front on 31 minutes. They're into the second half now, where Joshua Zirkzee has just added a second. They lead 2-0. Meanwhile, 2 years on from leaving Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp is back in football management. He's today become the new head coach of the German national team on a 4-year deal. Now to Rugby League, and tonight sees Wigan take on our rival St Helens in Super League. It's their 4th meeting of the season after going head-to-head in the League, the Cup and at Magic Weekend. And Saints enter the game just a day after parting company with their head coach, as Chris Hall reports.
They say familiarity breeds contempt. But what if that contempt was there to begin with?
Yeah, when you're walking around the town and stuff like that, people always say you need to beat Saints, and it's massive for the town and for the club as well. Coming through the academy like I did, so all you ever know is that you want to beat Saints. So yeah, it's a massive game and one that everyone wants to be involved in.
Their 4th derby of 2026 comes just 3 weeks after the last one at Magic Weekend on the Mersey. But that's not watered down the passion, it's just turned neighbours more niggly and friends into foes.
Yeah, definitely. I think it sort of amps you up. Being one of the littler outside backs, I sort of observe the fights or look for Joe Field. He's a mate of mine, so we can just fight each other because we're both small. But no, it definitely adds to the atmosphere, and you always go out there and you're really playing for the city and the fans.
With Saints facing a real scrap to qualify for the top 6 playoffs, head coach Paul Rowley stepped down just a day before this derby. But after a season plagued by injuries, the players are getting used to having to adapt.
Obviously, as a rugby league team or an organisation in any industry, continuity and working together is important. So to have a constantly changing team is difficult, but I think it's a credit to us that we just adapt to it. And I think Wigan, last time we versed and we lost by 2, so if we can win a few more moments, then that'll kickstart us for the year and keep winning, and then finals will come.
Saints have beaten Wigan this year. A Good Friday win worsened the Warriors' spring slump. But after getting their revenge in the Challenge Cup semi-final, they've now won 8 straight games, fuelled by a rivalry, but not a feud.
I think it's going through those spells that make you better as coaching staff, the players, and bring everyone together in the long run, and you end up with a stronger group, I think. There's a lot of us that are mates with our St Helens staff or players. You know, Harry Smith and Joe Shorrocks were watching the Open together on Sunday, and I suppose the rivalry sometimes come from, you know, wanting to get one over on your mate.
This latest duel may not be their last, with a 5th tear-up possible in the playoffs. They may have mingled at the golf, but one team will be teed off tonight. Chris Hall, ITV News.
Well, there's another all-Northwest clash this weekend as Lee take on Warrington tomorrow. And big Wolves fan Luke Littler will also be in action then after reaching the semi-finals at Darts World Match Play in Blackpool. Well, the reigning champion and world #1 continued his incredible scoring as he powered past Northern Ireland's Josh Rock to win 16 legs to 7 at the Winter Gardens.
Yeah, it feels absolutely amazing. Everything's going to plan. Preparation's good. And yeah, taking it onto the stage and performing big numbers, loads of 180s and all the big finishes. Obviously staying at home, it's only a 50-minute drive, so staying in your own bed's good. But yeah, long may it continue into the semis again.
Elsewhere, Manchester Supergiants enjoyed a winning start to cricket's new season of the 100. Both the men's and the women's teams had opening success against London Spirit. After the women's side had eased to a 7-wicket win, bowler Sonny Baker then sealed victory for the men by 7 runs. At the Commonwealth Games, there's been a Northwest medal in the powerlifting today. Well, Olivia Broom, who's from Chorley, has won a bronze in the lightweight division. The 25-year-old completed a lift of 119 kilograms to seal her spot on the podium.
Super happy, you know. I came into these games doing the best I wanted to do. It means a lot to me. You know, it's pretty much the home games. You know, and to have a medal around my neck, you know, I don't think I could have done this without, you know, the support, friends and family.
Yeah, well done, Olivia. And finally, Tyson Fury has won his fight against Marius Vak in Thailand thanks to a 7th round stoppage. Next up, Anthony Joshua? Maybe, possibly, could be.
Who knows?
We've heard that one before, haven't we? Watch this space.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Now, there are a few parties like a Pride party, and Liverpool Pride kicks off with a huge celebration at the city's arena tonight.
Yeah, after the event's future was thrown into doubt last year, thousands of people will gather across the weekend to truly celebrate unity, inclusion and community.
Andrew Fletcher is there. Andrew, what's the atmosphere like?
Well, the atmosphere is certainly building. It's loud here, it's colourful. The Liverpool Experience campus bedecked in Pride flags. And it's all starting with the big show tonight. Headliners Sugar Babes and Beth Ditto and many other acts. Let's speak to Mark Christopherson, the lead organiser of Liverpool Pride. Mark, this is a very exciting evening for you.
It is, yeah. It's been a lot of time in the planning. But we've got some amazing artists that are going to be on tonight. So we've got Beth Ditto, Sugar Babes and Tyler Declare and Pam Sandwich, who are all going to be performing on the stages amongst other local community artists, which I think is quite good to keep it local.
Absolutely. And there has been some doubt about the future of Liverpool Pride after last year's event was almost cancelled.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So it was almost cancelled, but then Sahir took it on, so we managed to plan it within 7 weeks, which was a very hard job, because you can imagine having to get everyone organised and organisations getting involved. But hopefully it'll continue, and the momentum will get bigger and bigger over the years.
Absolutely. Well, let's meet some of the acts who are going to be taking to the stage. Tonight, on my left, we've got Jess the Boy, Debbie Darling and Tyler. So, you're all going to be on stage tonight. What are you going to be doing?
So myself, Debbie, Tyler Declare and Pam Sandwich, we are your gorgeous 3 hosts, and Jess the Boy is the choreographer, curator, icon, legend and inspiration behind the opening ceremony.
And you all look absolutely fabulous. How long's it taken you to get ready?
I just brushed my hair and my teeth and I was ready to go. Me, yeah.
Just throwing these clothes on. What is it about Liverpool Pride that makes it so exciting?
So Liverpool Pride is so important. It wasn't here last year. As a community, Scouts Power, we brought it together, and community, especially the trans community, is so strong in Liverpool, and that's why Liverpool is strong as what it is. The foundation is trans people.
Well, it's going to be a fabulous weekend, a colourful weekend. The Proud Mary Choir are behind, already kicking it off. The acts, have you seen, are ready. Bertie here is ready for a fantastic Pride weekend.
Andrew in Liverpool, thank you very much indeed. Just brushed hair and teeth. I love that.
Do you know what? I am so jealous of Andrew right now, honestly.
Yes, absolutely. I'm jealous of anyone who can look that good just by brushing hair and teeth. Let's get the weather forecast. Here's Emma.
Mom, wet wipes, toilet or bin?
Bin. Why?
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, hope you're enjoying your evening and that you're ready and raring for the weekend. And what a week it's been, starting off fine, warm and sunny, but what a difference a day makes. Cloudier today, and as we head into the weekend, cloudy and windy at times, a very different feel to the weather and a respite from that extreme heat. There will be some showers in the forecast, not huge amounts, but enough to wet the ground, very much needed, and still feeling warm in any brighter spells and shelter. So we have a conveyor belt of frontal systems moving northwest to southeast over the next 24-48 hours. The first one overnight tonight, quite a weak affair, followed by another more active one tomorrow morning, but always being challenged by high pressure from the southwest, which tries to build in. So rewinding to the next few hours, after a fine night tonight, some late sunshine, we're expecting cloud to thicken from the northwest, initially across the Isle of Man. You can see a very thin line of light spotty drizzle that's pushing southeastwards, fading as it does so probably won't reach parts of Cheshire, and then skies tend to clear through the early hours of the morning. Quite gusty across the Isle of Man, maybe gusts of 40-45 miles an hour here, but generally light winds everywhere else and a touch warmer than recent nights too. Into tomorrow morning, sun's up about 5:15 in the morning. The next more active system again glances southeastwards, and generally some light spots of showery rain on this, maybe an odd moderate to heavy burst here and there, but as you can see, they do tend to fade the further south and east they get. Feeling warm through parts of Cheshire, Liverpool and Manchester hanging on to cloud for longer, and then there's more showers to follow on Sunday. It's also going to start feeling fresher on Monday, and more showers in the forecast later in the week.
Cleaned up well.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thanks, Emma. Just before we go, it's the end of a momentous day. Andy Burnham's held his first Number 10 North meeting in Manchester as he declares the days of power being centralised in Whitehall are over.
Yeah, the Prime Minister and Makerfield MP was sitting down with ministers and regional mayors at Heron House, which will now serve as a weekly government hub.
That is Granada Reports this Friday evening. Our late news is at the much later time of 20 to midnight tonight.
Wow, that is late. If you are awake, do join us. But for now, from all of the team here, thank you very much for watching and have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That is late.